All right, YouTube. This is Detroit's HPTV coming to you out of Detroit. It's Monday, early Monday morning, and we got to talk about some things. Now, ever since the election, you've been seeing a lot of liberals having complete meltdowns. They've been talking about they're going to alienate themselves from their family. They've been shaving their heads. They've been talking crazy, and it's abnormal if you don't understand what really happened or if you don't really think about things. They just went through one of the biggest psych ops, one of the biggest psychological operations since Germany. They were totally brainwashed. They were told that Kamala was winning when she was losing. They were giving millions and millions of dollars to a failing campaign. They were promoting things that they didn't even believe, and they had them on the loop. They kept saying the same things. Trump is a fascist. Trump is a fascist. They were brainwashing and running a psychological operation on the American people. People were actually believing them. They said it so many times that it became true in the minds of the people that were following the liberals. They were telling you that Trump was a Nazi and he was going to take control of your body, and they were going to put people back in chains and put them on plantations and all these different things. And they kept saying it with the help of CNN and MSNBC. It was a giant psych op. And it messed with the minds of the people because they used fear and anxiety and stress to manipulate the emotions of the people. And then when it wasn't true and Trump won by a landslide, the bottom fell out. They should apologize to the American people. This was mass manipulation. This was a psychological operation like no other. You ever heard how they say if you keep saying a thing, it becomes true? This is how they radicalized Germany over there under Hitler. Remember, everything that they said about Trump and the conservatives, they were doing. They used propaganda, created a narrative that scared the American people. They divided homes, they divided families along political lines. And they knew the things they were saying were not true. They knew Trump was not anything like Hitler. They knew that his supporters were not fascists. They knew these things, but they kept saying them, kept repeating them. They were redundant in their application of the narrative they wanted you to believe. They used all kind of symbolism. They even brought out Barack Hussein Obama, who, until he started getting into politics, was called Barry Soetoro, whose stepfather was a CIA operative, who is also related to the Bushes, who ran the CIA. Barack Obama's father is Kenyan. They made you think that he was one of us when Oprah brought him to the stage with Soros money. The psych ops started with him. The identity politics started with him. And we're going to drop an allegedly in here because when you tell the truth on this platform, they will censor you and shadow ban you. So you have to say allegedly, but that's going to stop soon. And hopefully we reimburse at some point in time for all the shadow banning and suppression of our videos. But let's get back to Barack Obama. It started with him. Barack Obama wanted to marry a Caucasian lady and asked her several times before he even considered a Michelle Obama. Michelle Obama was a political tool to get him the black vote. Barack Obama betrayed Jeremiah Wright, the pastor and bishop in Chicago who introduced him to the public and made him an advocate in that community. Barack Obama was never like us. He grew up in Hawaii, Indonesia. But the identity politics started with him. And Oprah brought him to the scene out of nowhere. Soros threw money behind him. And what did he do when he got in office? He hung the rainbow flag over the White House. He legalized same-gender marriages, who, by coincidence, Kamala Harris performed the first legal same-gender marriage. This was a psychological operation on the masses of the people. These were Manchurian candidates, allegedly. You have to think about it. Barack Obama came from nowhere, out of nowhere, on the stage, backed by Soros, Oprah Winfrey, stepdaddy in the CIA as an operative, Ken's and friends in relationships with the Bushes, thrust upon us as one of us on the Democratic plantation, saying he's the first black man to be president. When we thought that we identified black men as black men who are foundationally black in America, who are descendants of slavery, who've been over here since the 1800s, not some man whose daddy was from Kenya that came over here and went to school and then leaves him at 2. Then his mother marries another guy who's a strong man in the military over in Indonesia, who's a CIA operative. This guy was made and put in front of you to mislead you. You see the expose Candace Owens did on Kamala Harris. She got fake pictures of her grandma, and she's Irish, and she's this, but then she becomes a black woman. And now the black community is divided because of this psychological operation. They manipulated your need to have a savior. You have a savior complex. And they know that they exploited it. J. Edgar Hoover said in the COINTELPRO that they must prevent the rise of a black messiah among black people who can unite black people. It's in the COINTELPRO. They thought that Malcolm had the potential to do it. So they gave you leadership. They crafted and made somebody for you to follow. Because they knew you had this complex, this inferiority complex, that you will identify with anyone if they say they look like you and they are one of you and they don't even be nothing like you. How many of you grew up in Indonesia and Hawaii and stepdaddy was a CIA operative and you related to the Bushes and Soros going to give you money and Oprah Winfrey going to help you get in office? Why, when he was in Chicago, did he betray Jeremiah Wright? He had no dealings with the grassroots, with Farrakhan, nobody in Chicago. He stayed isolated like he was in a bubble. And then he comes out and chastises black men in behalf of Kamala Harris, another cause playing chameleon. They tried it again. And black men and Hispanic men and white men recognized it and rejected it. And now the bottom is fell out, and our people and our women folk are having emotional breakdowns because they have been the victim of a psychological operation that manipulated their most emotions and their very psyche. They believed. They were believers. But enough of this conversation. I want to show you how black men felt about Obama. Let's look at the black man effect. This is for fair use under the 1976 Copyright Act for commentary and educational purposes. And I'm standing on the First Amendment. And shout out to Pink Book Lessons again, because she put this montage together.
Kamala did not grow up like me. She grew up in upper middle class. Really, that don't matter. I'm voting on policies, and her policy sucks. So Obama, keep your mouth shut, okay? You're the gatekeeper. You kept the gate on a lot of black people being ignorant. Quite a few of them have awakened to the lies of the Democrat Party. So Barack Hussein Obama, kiss our... We voting for Trump. This whole let's go after black men because Kamala's support is down with all men and black women too compared to other Democrat candidates in the past totally backfired on them. A lot of black men are responding to Obama right now for his comments. Obama called black men making their own decisions in this election cycle, quote, unacceptable. Well, black men, they have something to say.
Hey, Barack Obama, as a black man, this must be sad, man. Kamala Harris and the Democratic Party. We vote for Trump, bruh.
Barack Obama gets called out after demanding brothers vote for Kamala Harris. So you had Barack Obama demanding brothers vote for Kamala Harris. Barack Obama ain't demand anybody else to vote for her. He ain't called nobody else out, just the brothers, right? Because brothers ain't allowed to vote for who they want to vote. Vote for their interests. Vote for what they believe will be best for them and their families. You know what I'm saying? They got to vote for Kamala because Obama said so. This is what I got from all that, man. So you had a lot of brothers calling out Obama. You know what I'm saying? Brothers like, boy, I know you ain't talking Obama like Obama. You was the swaggiest president. You talk a good game. I give you that. You know what I'm saying? I give you that. But we don't want to hear all that, man. Brothers gonna do what brothers do, man. Everybody has the right to vote for who they want to vote for, not who Barack Obama tells them to vote for.
And the fact that didn't nobody even think about this lady in 2020 when she ran, it's just mind-boggling. Then y'all got signs up in the back, all them signs that say black voters. That was very offensive. That was very racist. And I'm gonna say that. That was very racist. If it was Donald Trump and he had signs up that said black voters, literally CNN would be spinning that all day calling him a racist. The stuff y'all try to pull over people's heads, man, is ridiculous.
Obama said what? I know they ain't brought Obama to try to think he gonna get some straightening somewhere. I just know they ain't did that. And then he gonna have the nerve to say, y'all better be glad Michelle ain't here. What he gonna do? What is Michelle gonna do? You calling out black men specifically for not voting for Kamala because she's black.
I also want y'all to go on the internet and look. Barack Obama was the only president in the history that ordered a drone strike against American citizens. A drone strike. No due process of the law. No arrest. A drone strike. Then he justifies when it is revealed that the man's son was also deleted in the drone strike. He justifies by saying, well, we couldn't find him to arrest him, which was real dumb, because how come the drone found him? If the drone found him, that means you found him. You didn't want to arrest him. You have to unravel and reverse engineer Barack Obama's whole candidacy and career.
But what did you do for the black men while you were there? What did you do for us? I'm trying to figure it out right now. You want to call us out of all the races? You want to call us out? You want to say that we supposed to just be supporting her because she black? Okay, what did you do for us? I seen you do a lot for the LGBTQ plus. I think I said that right. I don't want to offend nobody. You did a lot for them. You did a lot for the police too. You the one started back the blue. But y'all want to say Trump trying to get a police immunity. But you done brought your Newport smoking on here and want to say something and try to call us out. Call us out. I bet the people in Flint, Michigan still got a lot to say about you, because last time I heard they still ain't got safe water. But you talking about us. Man, if you don't sit your town somewhere. I don't care if they.
Using the information in this all-new free book, I bought this house here as pictured on Realtor. It's worth $116,000.
Wait, hold on. My bad, y'all. I was looking for a deal because I done ran all out. Obama. Who the hell are you, man? Who the hell are you? Talking to brothers like you somebody's daddy. Like we can't think for ourselves. And I need to put the word out about you brothers who were standing there with him as he, talks down on men, black men in particular. Y'all should have left. I don't even know why y'all stood there and listened to that foolishness. No, and let me say this too, Mr. Obama. I bet you wouldn't go and talk to black men in mega spaces like that. I tell you that. You know where to go. You sitting over there addressing black men in a safe space. You wouldn't dare come over to black men in mega spaces talking that crap. I guarantee you that. You ain't nobody's daddy, man. Acting like black men can't think for themselves, and when we do, we somehow don't like women. Man, if you don't get your sissy up out of here, you'll like the White House and gay color.
So Obama and all the Democrats said that all black men should vote for Harris. Meanwhile, she's married to a white man, but it's a problem when black men want to vote for a white man, but she married one. The audacity of you to say to us that we are required and we better vote for Kamala Harris and that we don't want to see a woman in a position of power. You're a liar. I remember in June of 2010, I was in Baghdad, Iraq, and I watched your State of the Union address as a proud young black man to see a black president on the television. But I listened to you as you told the American people that we would not spend any additional resources in Baghdad or in Afghanistan, and we're going to bring our troops home in December of 2014. Right then and there, I knew you couldn't be trusted. Why? Because I'm watching them build sidewalks, build streets, and construct buildings in Baghdad, Iraq in 2010, as you said. Are you listening to what he's telling you? This is Barack Obama. He's telling the public that he's going to bring troops home while he's building streets and houses to bring more troops and to house them in Baghdad, to keep pushing the agenda that he was made to do, allegedly like a Manchurian candidate. The puppet masters, the globalists. You know, they say the greatest trick the devil ever played was convincing people that he didn't exist. Where do you think these people just come from out of nowhere? They just pop up out of nowhere. And they can ascend to the highest offices in the land. They've gotten so powerful, they are having half of the population on the verge of a nervous breakdown. Just think of these people shaving their heads, alienating themselves from their families, crying and going insane because this lady, who's a Hindu, lost an election. And years ago, nobody even knew who the hell she was. Think about it. We're going to leave in 2014. So now that you get on a stage or a platform and try to bully us and belittle us and try to make the world believe that we're not intelligent enough to see what you and the demonic Democratic Party is doing, you're the biggest problem to black people. Not the Republican Party. Just because our policies differ or our views differ or our perspectives and values differ, now you want to attack? No, Barack, you're a liar, and you're part of the problem. I really genuinely need somebody to explain to me why Barack Obama thinks it's a great idea to go out here and have black men vote for Kamala Harris and galvanize the black male vote, when this lady gonna do the same thing for us that he did, which is not a mother thing. Like, let's be clear, Barack Obama talking about, this is now the time for you black men to go out and vote for Kamala Harris. She needs your support. All right? We are obligated to do this because I'm going to pull out the race card out of my the same as I pulled out the race card when I told you we were going to bring change to America. Yes, we can. Yes, we can what? Yes, we got to reverse 8 years of bad George Bush policy. The Democratic Party has convinced black people that Donald Trump is somehow already in office. This is how they work. They literally play the psychological mind game to say, if Donald Trump this, if Donald Trump that. Barack Obama, what did you do for the black people? What did you do for black people when you got in office, Barack? We gave you a Nobel. You were awarded a Nobel Peace Prize simply for being able to say you stood on the shoulders of Dr. King, Malcolm X, Medgar Evers, all the people that came before you.
How old is your brain? By the end of this game, you will find out. The objective of this
Did you live up to it? Did you?
I did a video on Martin Luther King to show you how the Democratic Party co-opted the movement by blackmailing and coercing Martin Luther King. How they had him in their pocket by video recording and recording his just indiscretions and manipulating his mind and almost destroying him psychologically through blackmail. This is how the Democratic Party actually infiltrated the black movement and the black church through King, through your history.
Do anything that was deserving of a Nobel Peace Prize before you got in office? No. Did you do anything that was deserving of a Nobel Peace Prize while you were in office? No. Did you do anything of substance for black people? No. But we treated you like Moses when in actuality you were just Pharaoh. And I'm not saying you were Pharaoh like you were oppressive in Egypt, like Pharaoh was to the Israelites in Egypt, but you were Pharaoh in terms of you held a political office. And we elevated you to the status of Martin when you didn't even do half the work he nor Malcolm did.
So Barack Obama was in Pittsburgh and he had a few words to say about black men. Black men aren't excited to vote for Kamala Harris. We aren't excited to vote for her. Why do you think that, Barack? Is it because that she is drop step with one of the worst presidents we've ever had? Is it that she was the border czar and didn't do anything about the migrants coming over? Is it because she has to read from a teleprompter every time she does a rally or does something like that? Is it because black men are just saying, you know what, maybe I want to vote a different way? Why is it that every time we have an issue, you got to attack us, Barack? You don't do the white man like that. You don't do Asians like that. You don't do Hispanics like that. But when it comes to the black man, if we don't vote one way, then y'all want to attack us.
This message is for President Obama. First and foremost, you're not going to tell me what I'm going to do and what I'm not going to do. Number one, I ain't going to vote for Kamala Harris. I think that she's going to make a bad president. She's a bad vice president. Everything she does, she tries to politicize it. And she hasn't shown the fact that she wants to put America first ever. So I'm not voting for that individual. Secondly, I think that it's really sad that you would come out against black men and actually degrade them because they're not picking the person that you want them to vote for. All right, and the last thing that...
And I'm just going to interject and I'm going to let this finish playing out. He was manufactured to put us in line on the Democratic plantation. He was supposed to be the icing on the cake that locked us in as permanent slaves on the Democratic plantation. And Kamala Harris was to usher in the next phase, which would have had black men and women as the face of communism. Think about that. They already got black women as the face of civil unrest, but they wanted us collectively as the face of communism by saying, oh, the white man is the threat over here to democracy. Did you listen to the rhetoric from Don Lemon? Don Lemon said that white men were the biggest threat to democracy, even though he's married to a white man. Think about Letitia James. She was saying that the government was too stale and too pale. That's why they wanted black men and women to be the face of communism, which really they was race baiting and using rhetoric to play on your emotions while they were going to install a puppet regime under the globalists, Soros, and the rest of them. Do your homework, research the things I'm saying, because until you do your homework and your research, it's all allegedly, okay?
I'm going to say is the moment that I became a Republican and a conservative, that is when I got the most hate from the opposite party, all right? Being that I'm a conservative, being that I'm a Republican, I've always been accepted. For the little bit of time that I may have been liberal, I never heard anything from the Republicans. They never came out and called me slanderous things. They never came out and called me racist things. The only time that I ever started hearing things about my skin color and about, racism or whatever was when I became a Republican. And that was from Democrats that were saying that. So no, I'm not going to be voting for who you want me to vote for. I'm going to do what I want as a man, and I'm going to be the man that I am, so you don't get to say anything.
So apparently, the former president, Barack Hussein Obama, just called me out. I don't know about y'all, but that little soliloquy of yours, Barry, sounded awfully familiar.
If you have a problem figuring out whether you're for me or Trump, and you ain't black.
Now, as one of those brothers who won't be supporting Kamala, the reasoning for this is actually quite simple. Yeah, we're done. We're done with the lying, the constant gaslighting, the identity politics. Yo, vote for me because I'm a black Democrat. Yeah, no. And a lot of black men specifically are finally waking up to this and fleeing that Democrat plantation. And you, Barry, are terrified.
There it is. Obama came for black men, and this is what happened. For a long time, black people have been disgusted by Obama's lack of support for the black community while he was in office. He had nothing for the black community, but he had boule parties. No economic development for black Americans, no tangibles, no nothing. And as a result, black men have rejected Obama. This has been the sentiment for many years, but it was never this loud. But now, since he tried to show out or crash out for the Curry Queen, well, black men showed up and showed out in front of the whole world. Yeah, everyone knows the truth now. Black people are not rocking with Obama in this era. We are not supporting Kamala either, or anybody associated with them. And listen, Kamala the Cosplay Chameleon going to a bunch of feminine black boule shills like Roland Martin or the Shade Room or the Breakfast Club, it's not going to change that. What you're going to find out is they have no influence over the black grassroots. We don't respect them. Let's go ahead and get the conversation started. If Kamala Harris is having an issue with straight black men, who told her that she can change that by sitting down with a bunch of feminine men? Who told her that was the answer? Tell me what you think about this below. I want to send out a special thank you to Mr. Passport Man.
Shout out to Pink Book Lessons. Now, I'm going to end on this note. Barack Obama and Kamala Harris and the Democratic Party have created one of the biggest mental health crises in the history of mankind. All you got to do is pay attention. This is the largest mental health crisis in history. Look at Joy Reid, how she keeps coming down. Look at Angela Rye. Look at all the crying and the shaving of heads. These people are having breakdowns in front of the world over a fake manufactured campaign and manufactured candidates. This is Detroit's HPTV coming to you out of Detroit. Support the nonprofit Detroit's Black Thought and Action Collective. The Cash App is in the channel description. As always, salute to all patriots. Keep your head on the swivel. Like, share, and subscribe. Peace.